This freaking nonsense. Did this copyright?
You'll probably end up mentioning it, but Sean, what thing died this week on Shonen Jump?
Embers.
It was Embers.
It was Embers. Mason, did you read that chapter yet?
No, not yet. But
Cool.
I'm gonna go read that actually right now.
This is another one of those examples where it gives me the ending, and I went, yeah, damn, that actually would have been kind of neat to have gotten through the natural process of things.
It's a lot of manga that have to end
Yeah.
early. It just goes like, damn.
Yeah,
We just kind of.
but sometimes you're
glitched to
like,
this already.
Kyoto Necromance, or you're like Dear Anemone, and I went, what the fuck are you, what are you doing? Just, you should have shown me anything. You either don't make sense, or it just wasn't worth it. Those are two very particular cases, though, to be fair. Okay, that should be everywhere. Hello, buddy. Hello, welcome. Welcome.
That's hot.
Yeah, so I'm literally actively reading the Cinderella chapter. I'm 5 pages in, and not even 4 pages in. And so Cinderella's power works in this way where there is this king who has like insane powers. We don't know them yet. We just know he does. And anybody with his bloodline has these powers. And then there's the main character who gets his powers from some kind of demon god at the bottom of the ocean. Because Julian is based, and his sorcerer's powers are based as well. The power system is very warlocky, yes. And like, so the whole thing is that Julian's existence is like a big deal, because he's like a person who should not have these powers. However, he is not actually the problem in the story. The problem in the story is his younger sister, adopted. It's complicated. You should read Centuria. But she's the problem because the king and all of the royal court believe in a prophecy that she will be the kingdom's undoing and will eventually kill the king, who is like immortal. And so instead of doing anything rational, they instead chase this infant down to the ends of the earth and try to kill everybody around her to get to her, which totally won't cause the prophecy to come true. Definitely not dark fantasy. But we got introduced to a guy named Luca. He's rad. And Luca's on Julian's side of things. And you get the reveal that he's actually he has the king's blood in him, and he has powers at a point in the manga. And his power, I don't know, they show you his power the first time, and then through one of his fights, he has to show off that his power has another layer to it. This fucking chapter, on the 4th panel, reveals that he has another layer to his power, and it is that he's also a horse.
Okay.
Because you just see him carrying Julian on his back over what it looks like a horse, and it shows you the 4 legs of the horse. Really, really silly. I'll have to get back to that. I played a video game. It wasn't Fire Emblem Engage.
First time ever.
It wasn't Fire Emblem Engage. Instead, I fucked around on some of the classic stuff on Switch, because I like to do that. It's where I'm replaying through Sacred Stones, even though I could do that on my computer, but it's fun. It's there. I can do it in my bed. It's nice. But I don't count that, because I've played through Sacred Stones 7,000 times. I don't need to talk about it ever again. I sat down and cleared through the main story, of the GBAC, Game Boy Color, technically, or the GBC, WarioWare. So I fucked around on a WarioWare for a while. And that was lots of fun. I had a good time with that. Some of those games really open up and they go, do something right away, quick, fast. Are you ready? Do you know it's coming? No? Too bad.
That is kind of the way the micro games are built. It is kind of
Yeah.
the whole thing.
But, like, usually they give you, like, a little bit of leeway to, like, stare at your screen and figure it out. Like, because they tell you what, like, the general genre of game is by, like, whatever the task they shoot into your faces. And then you just have to go, okay, let me decompress what's going on the screen. But there are a couple of times where there's a couple of games where it just goes, it gives you some odd phrase and you have to go, okay, and by the time you figured out anything, it's done. Too late. You missed your button press. Tough shit. Good luck next time. I've almost played every micro game that's in there. There's a couple of them you don't get right away. Because like you run through each one, and if you clear it and on your first try, like you're gonna get like 15 of like the 30 games in each genre, maybe. And a couple of them repeat. Like you just get them sped up again later on in the run. But yeah, there's some fun stuff in there. I had a good time with that. Manga. The manga hall.
Mangoes.
John, I think Lemon might be ending soon.
I don't know.
It's possible, right? It soon being like
I could see it.
soon
also
being
I could
like
see them just,
8 chapters.
doing like a. Okay, I could see if I could also see them doing like a Komi-san where they just like keep going after, like they resolve the plot.
Yeah, the odd thing is they're in college. So like you would go to adult life, which would be rad. It would be cool.
Like, they could just like explore the
More
relationship
times, yeah.
aspects and stuff too.
They could just
It
introduce
depends on
new
what he
characters.
decides. It depends on what main guy decides. You know, we haven't even gotten to like him deciding between the two of them.
No, yeah, we're still resolving like the core issue
spent,
of
like,
chapter.
The last, like 10 chapters in a flashback.
Yeah.
And it's just like you forget that there's a main plot to this.
Yeah,
because
and
you're like, wow, this is a great story for an anime. Oh wait, this is the flashback.
Yeah, we also haven't resolved the actual body swapping issue of Hope You're Happy Lemon. Which everybody in the comments on Manga Plus likes to remind me how they've forgotten that is a plot point, and I go, how? I know we've been in a flashback for a while. It's literally the core conceit of the manga.
Mm-hmm.
One Piece chapter this week. Some crazy things in there. There's a panel of Shanks. There's a flashback with Shanks in it where he has his arm. Which tells you, and there is information in that because he certainly does have stuff on his arm. People gonna be he has a mark on that arm.
He had a mark on that arm?
He has a mark on that arm. It's
like a tattoo mark? I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's in
I did not know.
yeah.
BRB, gonna go spin
No,
the chapter real quick.
Hold on, I can get you the panel. It was sent to me.
No, it's okay, I'll find it.
If you want to send that to me, that'll save me some time.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Appreciate
sit here and
you.
read Akane
Also,
Banashi
Loki
because I haven't
kinda
read
based.
anything today.
Also, just finished that Embers chapter.
Also,
That I really like that ending.
It's a
Also,
very
now it's
nice
getting
ending.
a flashback inside of a flashback.
Got focus on things I want to talk about. One Piece, very good. Lots of interesting stuff happening. Very, very intrigued on where we're going with this. I can't believe Luffy asked the thing he asked of Loki this week. That is an insane thing to ask.
Wild.
Fuck, you're right. Wait, what is that mark?
I'm trying to figure that out too.
Ain't that the question? It looks like a compass to me, but that's besides the point. Yeah, Embers ended this week on its 20th chapter. I stand by the fact that I think if this manga had just slowed itself down and didn't feel the need to have like shot itself so fast, like if it just spent some time building character and like looking really pretty as a sports manga, it might have had a better run. Because people in the US have seemed to have really liked it. There seems to have been a decent amount of outcry from people when they heard it was ending, to which I said, I'm sorry, man. The writing was on the wall for this one because they literally speed ran you through an entire tournament arc in 7 chapters until you got to the last game. But like
And that only took 2.
Yeah, but like the art in this last game has been incredible. Like
Crazy.
it did not look like this for the first half of the manga.
No.
Like the only other
Wild
visual,
jump
the only
quality.
other similar visual earlier in the manga is during the match they have with the guy who's a starter, where he's the snake, where they do that imagery of him being of the wolf, the snake, and the hawk, which is a really cool set of imagery. But that's like the only other time they get like ridiculously cool and rad with how like the stuff works visually. I really like the ending. I think it's really neat. It would have been much more enjoyable, obviously, if you could have gone through 200 chapters worth of sports with this. It happens, man. It happens. I'm sure some of them will be back at some point of that team. Ultimate Exorcist was good. Kagurabachi was insane this week. Very good chapter. Looks very pretty. I really like what it's doing. Blue Box, fun time. We cooking stuff in Blue Box. We causing problems. Not with the main cast. They're perfectly happy as they should be. Himaten cliffhangers us on about to get a confession. Fun.
Oh shit.
Yeah, have fun trying to figure out who and what if you haven't been keeping up. You got so many fucking options in Himaten.
Boy, am I behind on Human.
I'm only like a chapter behind, but the issue is any of them could still be doing it.
I clicked into it on Viz. The green box is around chapter 29.
Yeah, but you're about 20
This
chapters.
week was chapter 47.
Yeah. It's a good manga.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Yeah!
I've been too busy I've been too busy having my mind filled with Blue Lock bullshit and Persona bullshit.
So, like, people on Reddit mainly, like, when they talk about stuff that should get cut, for a while, there were a lot of people being like, Himaten. They're like, it's boring, it doesn't do anything new. They're like, it's not as good as any other harem thing that's ever run in Jump. And I'm like, I don't know what your problem is.
Yeah.
Like, I think Himaten's actually very enjoyable. Particularly
Especially when stuff like Nue's Exorcist is still running in the manga.
Don't
for
worry.
some fucking reason.
Don't worry about it. These are the same people every week who are like, they're the same people who like find the weirdest fucking they despise Kill Blue. Reddit fucking hates Kill Blue with a fiery passion. Kill Blue's fine. It's fine.
It is so unabashedly fun.
Yeah, it's just good. It's
That
good.
one I'm even more behind on. Don't worry about it.
Come on, Michael. You gotta catch up to the Airsoft arc. I haven't read everything today. I have like 4 or 5 manga I have to read, including the new one. I haven't read the new one that dropped. Kenigami. I know nothing about it, have not really looked into it. I will check it out probably tonight before I go to bed.
Michael, I love that cover art so much.
So good.
This week, it's so cute.
It's such a cute cover art.
It's adorable.
I love how the two of them that are at like the front of the laps, because that's what we started pushing recently. Like, oh my goodness.
Listen, I love this. Listen,
I love all of
we
them.
Started pushing. We've been pushing it for years.
I mean, yeah, but like, hey,
I shared this.
They're just idiots.
they've had like 12 total interactions. Those two.
True. I shared the
We've known about
spoiler.
them for 150 chapters.
I shared the spoiler image for Kanabatashi in chat. Man, I'm so excited for this next couple of chapters. They do something really fun this week. She's such a good main character. I cannot express that Jump has a good female main character. Crazy. Wild. It's in Rakugo.
Yeah.
And then finally, Kaiju number 8's about to fucking end. I think it's next week's last chapter, right? Or next chapter's last chapter, whenever that.
Feels super short.
25 days, we get it. So he is cooking that. They are cooking that last chapter. I really, really like where. If you didn't read the most recent chapter, oh my god, dude, I
still need to read this week's.
I am incredibly happy to be reading a real shonen manga, in Shonen Jump, and be satisfied with where it is leaving me on its like from like its start to finish process. I don't think there's been a single part of like outside of the wait that you have to have for Kaiju number 8. Like that manga I think is just incredible. And it seems like we're sticking the landing. They would have to really fuck this up for this not to stick. But that's largely everything for me. That's all my shit. This is a fairly quick turnaround week, right? We were just here, what, Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what have you guys been up to?
Whole lot of nothing. But
I got worked.
Yeah.
I had some things happen, but whatever.
It has been
I
3
got-
days since Mason's last traumatic event.
Yeah, pretty much. I bought 2 games. I got Repo, which I played a little bit of last night with friends, and then I got this funny game called Destiny 2, and Cody and I have been playing that all day. If someone had told me that you can yeet an axe into a guy and then melee another guy and then turn into a whirling dervish with said axe and then jump, slide, and then melee someone up and then slam back down. Someone had explained the shit you can do in this game to me beforehand, I would have gotten onto it a lot sooner. It's very fun. I love it.
yes.
I know, Michael, you've been trying to get me to play that game for like 3 years, but
it's also one of those games where it's really hard to go, hey, you should play this game. Spend $100 on the newest expansion. This so happens the current deal to spend $22 for the entire game up to this point that exists in the game.
And also the season pass for this season.
Yeah. So notably, the thing that gave you access to this year, you also got the thing that gives you this entire year worth of like they called episodes this year, because they wanted to switch away from the seasonal model. They're going back to seasons next year. It didn't work. Whatever. That whole thing costed me $100 last year when I purchased it to get Final Shape with the seasons for the year. Yeah. It's so funny. Like in my brain, going, "Oh, this is the kind of discount you're getting with this."
Yeah.
The Light and Darkness bundle in general would be $150 to get the entire game up to this point. Which is already a fucking steal with some of the getting all the previous expansions.
Yeah, like there was one that you could get like the base game and like a lot of the content for like $9, and then this one got you the Final Shape and the season pass for $22 and all of the previous content. So it's like might as well just pay $13 extra dollars.
Yeah. It's also you get the coolest subclass ever conceived in the Final Shape.
Prismatic.
Yeah, Prismatic's fucking awesome.
It's sick. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Also, if someone had just shown me Kate before this, truly, I would have played that.
That's fair. But also, he's not much in this game.
Yeah.
They kind of... This isn't even a spoiler to say, they kind of fucking murk his ass at the start of Forsaken, which is a campaign that isn't even in the game anymore.
Yeah, you can play the bit of him getting murked.
Yeah, you can in fact play the first mission of Forsaken. Yeah.
But yeah, aside from that, I got caught up on all the rest of the manga this week. I believe I already said I was caught up on Witch Hat. I don't think I've done much of anything else aside from my normal tabletop stuff. I'm also writing an Avatar: The Last Airbender campaign, so that's
big.
Nice.
That system is out and it's very neat. It's extremely rules light, but I like it. Yeah, that's about all I've been doing.
Mason, I will say, if you guys ever want to do the dungeons or raids or anything,
I
will
was about to
gladly
say,
teach someone quite literally any piece of content in that game.
I was about to say, I will absolutely, I'm certain Cody and I will hit you up at some point to do that shit.
Yeah, I too many hours in the game, I know all of the things.
Is Destiny the game with the funny raid image we have, or is that a FF14
Yes, that is
raid?
Destiny
Okay,
2.
that's a Destiny 2
Yes.
raid. Okay.
Yes, that is
Image
just
we
a
have.
nonsense visual for atheists.
Oh boy.
It means nothing. But
Do you
the
have
actual
it?
picture people sadly not easily obtainable. I could definitely find it. But yeah. Like it's just they took a picture and they put nonsense visual. It's like Nurgle from Garfield with 6 Chaos Emeralds around him, on top of a Wikipedia article.
It's very good.
Look, I'm always a fan of shit posting raid diagrams, whether it be from 14 or other games.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I have diagrams that we have made for some of these. Most of them is jokes. But again, we have a channel in the Discord, like the people I play with. We have an entire channel called When We Forgore, and like half of it is like raid call out bullshit. The other half is oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is this is a thing I did on a piece of paper. We have this very important piece of lore. We have circle plus circle equals sphere. Don't worry about it. This means nothing.
No, it
I
means
also
everything.
technically gave the wrong name to a few of those bottom ones, but whatever.
Triangle
but
plus
yeah.
triangles, pyramid.
Because there's an encounter in the newest raid where you have to combine 2D shapes to make 3D shapes, and then move those 2D shapes around rooms so people can hold buffs in there to have a buff that equates to their 3D shape. Don't worry about it. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Anyway, Destiny. The things I've been doing. So I guess I was the one talking. So I've been slowly playing a little bit more as Endless Zone Zero. The 2.0 update came out. So like that game's been out for roughly a year. We got a big new area that I haven't gotten to yet because I'm still like 3 patches behind on story. That game's doing its shit still. It's whatever. Played more Persona 3 The Answer. Been getting through that. It's crazy, like once you get to a point that you're actually like given options on building your personas, the game like starts to become fun again, because then combat isn't a fucking slog of guessing weaknesses and doing negative damage. Now I have like actual personas that do stupid shit, and we're going crazy. Metis is the most bonkers unit to ever exist in a Persona game, of the 2 that I've played. She is fucking stupid. But yeah, that's been fun. I made a purchase of a game. Because Raito Mystery of the Soulless Army, Raito Remastered Mystery of the Soulless Army came out. That is it's a Shin Megami Tensei game of some capacity. It's the Devil Summoner set.
Devil Summoner, yep.
Yeah, Devil Schmingus.
Fucking critically acclaimed launch, by the way. Fucking stellar reviews coming out about that.
The game looks sick. And also does Jack Frost in it, and he is my guy. I love him.
Michael, they all have Jack. I hate to tell you.
I know.
He's in.
But
that's
he's in
not
the
true.
trailers.
That's actually not true. He's not in all of them. He's in most of them.
Sorry, if any of them don't have them, those games are 0 out of 10.
He's not. I do not believe Jack Frost is in the digital Devil Survivor stuff.
I
believe
believe never playing
because
those.
those 2 have like their own individual, completely brand new devil designs. I believe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
So
I might have to double check that for you.
yeah, I think I technically heard about this on Monday. But I didn't own the game yet because I think I technically did because my sister bought it and we share Steam libraries. Because I have spent too much money on Steam. So there's this funny little game that Ray Chase made. That was in development for 7 years. It's a little visual novel dating sim called Date Everything. If you've heard of it. You get to walk around a house, and you get to date everything. You get some like glasses or whatever.
game.
I haven't opened the game yet, but I listened to an entire podcast of people talking about it. And the whole gimmick is you get like glasses that let you like, oh, you walk up to your light switch, you interact with your light switch, and now it's a person named like Lightifica, and they have like really deep backstories, and like this game apparently is ridiculously awesome. I do want to play it at some point.
Did not know this was by Ray Chase.
Yeah, I think he's like lead producer of the game.
Yeah, he's lead writer and game designer.
Yeah.
I like to
Yeah.
imagine it's just that Song One Cho sketch where it's just like Lamp Coon.
Yes.
But I understand also a lot of the characters are
Except he
very
is.
hot.
Yes.
Um,
And I played some board games with friends. But like yesterday, I was at a friend's house, played Betrayal. We had a very funny moment where upon a turn happening, so Trader was able to control like 7 things in this specific honk. So we were playing 6-player. I was playing the character that starts with 5 might. I think I took 13 attacks in a row, taking 0 damage. I just rolled completely average, if not good, and he was rolling average, if not bad, and I had better stats than the things attacking for might. Upon this happening, I pulled up the Wolfie clip from the end of, I think it was the EUIC, but it wasn't enough. It's such a fucking fantastic moment. Me sitting there in a room, fighting actually like 5 little fucking mannequin dolls. Going, nah. I didn't hear no bell. 10 out of 10. That game's ridiculous. Anyway, that's all I've done.
I've worked 3 of the 4 days we didn't have a podcast this week, and then today, or yesterday, we had some friends over and we watched the K-pop Demon Hunters Netflix movie. It's pretty good.
I have heard good things. I heard it gets
reminds
a
me of
little
one of our
cringe
normal-
sometimes, but it.
Well, yeah, of course it does, but
Yeah.
like it's K-pop, so what do you expect? But no, what's funny is like a voice actor I very much enjoy listening to was in this show, and I didn't even notice. Songwon Cho is in that show. ProZD are in that movie. He voices a character whose name is Abs because he has abs, and it's great. We love a good gag character, but yeah, no, it was pretty good. If you have any interest in K-pop at all, it's pretty good. If you like that anime, like or that like arcane-ish art style, it's pretty good visually. On that, yeah, it's fun. Austin is at Off-Kai Expo this week, and so I get to see all these fun pictures of Off-Kai Expo and his VTube explorations, and that's about it. I really didn't do much this week. Kind of just like played around my Switch 2 a little bit, and I'm trying to decide what I want to play through to kill my time now. If I want to do like another Baldur's Gate playthrough, if I want to finally play Shin Megami Tensei 5, now that I have a Switch 2.
Yo, shit! I should do that too.
That actually probably makes it really sick to play.
I should
on.
probably. I forgot. That's another one of those games I got queued up for this.
But yeah, that's one of the games that's like on my backlog that I just have not touched, and could be fun. Could be fun.
Could be fun.
Could be fun. Also, I'm really glad I didn't I didn't qualify for Worlds, because in the Japan national qualifiers, which by the way is closed team sheets, Smeargle was 3 of the top 8 teams. Yippee! You want to know how the strat works? You click Tailwind and Spore, and then if you get 2 turns of sleep, you win. And if you don't get 2 turns of sleep, you probably don't win, but you might still win because Spore is stupid. Yeah, fuck Smeargle. Evil, Satan Pokemon. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Two quick things that have kind of hit us real fast that I wanted to share. Awashi's manga's done. It's ended.
Oh shit.
We also found out, I believe, like a month ago, that we are indeed getting season 2 of that next year.
Oh yeah.
Which is very good. In addition to that, Ron Kamanahashi's Deranged Detective manga is ending in July, at the start of July. That is on Manga Plus. I've enjoyed the bit of that I've read. Did you find it?
No. This is arguably just as bad. This is
nice.
This is Oryx the Pizza King.
Nice. Breadstick Boulevard.
My favorite thing is
especially enjoyed
Cryptid Pit. Yeah, Cryptid Pit and Restroom and Baby Chinning Stations are not areas that are important on this map. They just had to name them because it's funnier to put names there. Marinara sauce and coleslaw bucket are important.
But yeah, let's get into it, guys. We're an anime podcast. We are here to talk about episode 9s of our 5 shows. We are almost done with this.
We're cruising.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
this week, next week, top 3. So tonight, next week, and then we break to make sure we have time to finish all of our shows. We'll talk about that. We'll make it work. But yeah, let's we can get on into it with a healthy PR this week.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there's gonna be tons of change and movement this week.
Yes, actually. John, you moved things on your power ranking, and that like never happened.
What do you mean? I moved things so often, like so many times.
The amount of times that I write +0 next to every show on your power ranking, John.
At least
Or
like
most
3 to
of
4
them?
times a week. Yeah.
Most
What about
of
it?
them. So yeah, it's a very
Anyway,
everybody's got a unique power ranking this week. There is no duplicate. We get a little close, but there is no duplicates. Michael, let's start it off with some horse girls.
yeah. To Umamusume. I want to say we start with like Oguri just kind of talking with her coach, but I don't quite remember.
I think we start. I think we drop straight into stuff with Simbali.
Again,
Yeah,
the first like really
Simbali
big thing that
Rudolph.
happens is Simbali Rudolph. We kind of see her like watching Oguri do stuff and whatever, and we see her get called in to talk with the person, the like head of the racing council, or whatever the fuck they're technically called. And she goes, and they go,
Chairman of the racing organization.
yeah, the people in charge of the race. And as she was, and the person goes, you kind of making a bold statement there, Simbali Rudolph. You know, signing a petition, as we see like a news clip pop of Simbali Rudolph signs petition for Oguri Cap to be able to run the classics. It's like, oh shit, she finally made her decision on it. Because that guy made a really compelling point. And also, she has emotions. And she's like,
Also
yeah,
based.
she's a really good racer, and it would be like legitimately ridiculous for her to not be racing here. She like the thing that makes a racer a star, like yeah, it's how good they are, but it's also people wanting to root for them and like seeing themselves in them and stuff like that. She like has like a really emotional thing. It's like, damn, that's crazy. And the person goes, I understand your point, and our final verdict is going to be: we don't hear it. We see Simbala's reaction. Then we cut to the Nippon Derby, the Japan Derby. We see them start introducing racers. We see, I think the first girl's like Sakura Chiono O. She's pink hair, wears a kimono. Don't remember the second character's name. We're introduced to 4. I don't remember the exact order of them. We get another person who seems connected to her. Those two seem to have been like if we had the stories their anime, they would be interconnected characters.
For what it's worth, most of them we saw last week. Only one of them is new. It's brand new here.
Yeah. We get the girl who won last week's big race, Ueno or whatever. Yeah. And then we got a 4th girl who is like blonde hair. They come out and we get a character going, "Oh, is your leg healing up?" And she goes, "It's fine."
So important. If you don't remember from last week, she is supposed to run in the Satsuki show, and gets injured. And the idea is that she's the reason why the person who Oguri beats gets to run in the Satsuki show. Is because she is injured. Because her coach specifically says to her, the samurai guy last week, he goes, "We are not giving up because you never know what will happen." And she gets her injury and she gets in. Which is why I said the only new person here is the blue-haired one. Everybody else was technically introduced last week.
Yeah. We get this lineup of 4. Then we get a first-person shot of and we're like, okay, what's it gonna do here? We get a first-person shot of someone in the like tunnel to go out, and we see Oguri's name get called as the overwhelming favorite, and we're like, oh shit, it's gonna go crazy, guys. You have to trust me on this. It's gonna go crazy. And so we get this. We see all the racers sitting out there. We see everyone's getting super nervous. And we see the race starts. One of the people gets to the front. Don't remember their name. They're not important. They're about to fucking get cooked. Because they're running too fast at the start of the race. And as this race is going on, we get bits and pieces. We go through all 4 of these other races. We never really cut to Oguri. The most we get of it is we see fucking Simbali up in the stands, like watching her do stuff and like making comments on what she's doing. We never really see any of it. We see the other 4 people going, I feel like, back and forth constantly between the 4 of them and like what they're thinking, their mentality through this. Anyway, we're getting up to the end, the last 600 meters. We see the final spurt start from everyone. We see the blonde girl. Her leg is fucking cooked. She should not be running right now. We see the girl with like the samurai. Her name's like Ueno something. And I should bring up names. There's too many names in this goddamn character list.
What do you mean? You don't remember like finishes first and like pack leader Wilson and like
stuff like that. Yeah.
Run Fasticus like.
You see, she gets stuck back in like 4th. She gets in like 3rd or 4th or whatever during this, and we see the pink-haired one and the blue-haired one. We see them pushing neck and neck for first, and it's like, oh shit, 200 meters left, not much, and then we hear the commentator go, oh, what's that ashen silhouette? It's that Oguri cap leading by 7 lengths. Oguri takes the race. And then we cut to Simboli Rudolph in the stands. We've had like bits and pieces of her in the stands, like having like weird visions. Like she sees herself at Oguri and a certain thing. It's fucking sick. And then we get a final thing with Simboli where we see her there, and then it flashes, and the 2 people next to her are gone. And we see it cuts back to Oguri, and we get another cut to the pink hair girl going, and then she wins the Japan Derby, and you go, oh wait a second. What the fuck does that mean? And then then there's the thing with Simboli, where she sees she's alone, and you go, and then Oguri wins the New Zealand Cup. And you're like, oh shit! This episode, the way they pull off that she's in another race is fucking awesome.
It's all just
I fucking lost it here.
It was sick.
Yeah, because Simboli's watching Oguri's race here.
No, I thought Simboli was watching the Derby.
She's watching the Derby
Because she's imagining how she would have
because she's alone. I assumed she was watching the other way, where she assumed the race she's doing right now, how she would have done in the Derby.
No, she's watching the Derby. The cut when she's alone is her like being sad about the decision after getting out of the chairman's office. Is
So
when I read that.
The reason you know, so to me, it comes off as a lot of like, just, they do a lot of the cuts where they isolate her alone from the rest of the group who's there, because she's not really with them in the space of watching like the same race. Like they are cheering
she does like
for
physically
people.
interact with them a few times, but I thought it was also
Yes.
just like what
What-
she would do in these cases.
What
would
tells
be
you that
happening.
what tells you is that she did watch the Derby, is that she is seeing Oguri on like the Titantron out, and like as her eyes kind of fix back in, Oguri disappears off the Titantron. And then also her line about how like the Tokai Derby stinks of regret is very clearly she's watching the Tokai Derby. Like
the New Zealand or whatever.
no, because New Zealand's the one that Oguri's. Like she says,
Well, yeah, it's the Beach of Japan Derby.
yeah, Japan. Sorry.
No, because I guess the reason my brain interpreted it the other way is because she says that, and then you see in front of her a newspaper of the results of the Japan Derby.
I mean, yeah, she technically could be at both. She technically could have gone and watched her Japan.
She could have
Derby
She could have.
if
they
it's not
may
the
just be on
same
different
day.
days.
Yeah.
It is entirely possible they're just on different days. She watches both, and that's why she's alone at the second one. Because why would there be another person?
Yeah, the
there?
paper would make sense in that regard. And they're
But
probably
that was my
just.
thing, because I saw the paper.
You're right. They're probably
But
just merging shots from the two, and she's at both.
But yeah. Again, I fucking lost it when they did that reveal. As this happens, they reveal they cut back to Simboli at the talk, and they go, "But our final decision is no."
Can't make exception for one person,
Yeah,
but we'll
can't-
look into it,
exceptional.
basically.
It's like yes, it'd be crazy for us to make a flip decision right here, but I understand this is a annoying system, because we also know another member of Simboli's gang, which is why she gets the push for it. One of the girls who like stands like one of her like right hand person.
Yeah, it's like her secretary.
Also missed out on the classics for the same reason of this whole system being kind of fucked and having major issues in it. They're like, yeah, we're gonna try to make a turn for this.
I mean, this isn't
It
one
might
that
take
messed
a
up.
few
It's
years.
just like you had to just sign up for it. Like And then
Well-
if you qualify, you qualify. The problem is she just didn't sign up because she didn't know about it.
She fits. Well, it's because she was at a different school at the time they would have needed to sign up. She would have needed to be signing up while she was.
She was in the
yeah, on a
transfer
train.
process
First week's
for the
transfer, yeah,
application. Like
but,
the deadline was
If
day
anything,
she
that's
showed up.
that's on Joe and that's on Musaka for not
Yeah, again,
like
it's-
signing like getting on top of that.
Yeah.
It's-
It's just like
It's
it,
more
they-
of
there
like
should be more leeway. To
yeah,
it.
it's more of like you have literally presumably a pretty tight deadline to turn in an application, and if for any reason whatsoever there is any kind of like issue getting the application in or something prevents you from doing it, you're out of luck for one of the most important set of races in your sport at that level
At that level, yeah.
for that year.
Yeah.
Like that is like the argument is you're a sport based on like merit, accomplishment, and like crowd feel. Why is that the entry level for it?
I will say I do love how they set it up though, where like at the start they're like overlooking the race and they're like, the Satsuki show is won by like the
Yeah.
fastest. This one's run by
Yeah.
like the strongest, and this one is run by the luckiest, basically. Which is a very interesting setup. And like you said, it's so sick to have like this overlay that like didn't actually happen, but it's just her being like, this is what I feel like would have happened in this race based off how she races, and so I could see her winning this race, but unfortunately she's just not here, and that's a shame.
What makes it so rad is that you're in the office conversation, and like by all standards of like how sports shows go, and by tone of the show, you're like, yeah, she's not gonna get it. Like they're not gonna let her run it. And then they give you the shots of her there, and you go, well, fuck. I get like
crowd
you're
go
like
wild.
you're like
I so-
you're like
guess.
they can't
I-
not have her in the race if
I guess
she's
it-
there.
I will say, I called it a little bit early, simply based on the fact that everyone else in that race is dressed up to the nines, and
Yeah.
she is still in her runners up, like her.
You still haven't
practice
gotten her
outfit.
like her
Yeah,
racer
she
fit.
and she does have
she's
like
been-
she does have a racer fit.
But she's been in a racer fit like of dress before, so that was the point that tipped off to me of like something's weird here.
Yeah,
Um,
and
Yeah,
like
we
Michael
also
said, you
get
also
very little of her
yeah,
in that
they
race.
keep her like center of pack, which is really odd for her, and you get, but like in my mind, you can justify that away with, you've spent the past 7 episodes in Ogre's head during every race about how she wins. I actually think this would be the race if she was in it where you wouldn't do that. You would just let her win it. Like,
I do
Yeah.
think that, but here's the thing. I think every other racer coming into this would have such a target on her back for
Yeah.
like, why does she
Yeah.
get to break the rules?
none of
Like,
them talk to her at all at
every-
the start of the race.
No one's
Yeah,
worried about
she's
her while
never shown
racing.
in a camera shot with someone else.
The
She's
reporter,
not, she's not like the focus of the.
the
like,
reporter
competitors going,
doesn't comment about her at all during the time he's there in the stands watching. He's focusing on the actual racers who are there, which is a pretty good like, there are lots of things that tell you like in actuality no, but like the show does such a good job of making you stop and go, yeah, but you said she's here, like you
Yeah.
are lying to me actively, and it's
Yeah.
rad as fuck to you for you to do it.
It's like, thanks, show. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, she wins her race in New Zealand Cup, and we get and
by,
Usaki's like
17 lengths. like,
it's like yeah,
Seven,
she
seven,
cooked
just
them.
7.
Yeah, it's 7, which is
Yeah,
still
same shit.
ridiculous
Still
in a
insane,
race.
insane, because you see the visual for it, and like like if it was Japan Derby, you see how far 7 would be, and that's insane, like absolutely wild.
Yeah, and then we get like a cut. It's like an end of chapter 1, the debut into Japan arc. Think we get like a little bit of we do get a post credits scene in this one. Because we have to get the other person. They go, and here's this other racer who's kind of cooking people. And it goes, next week begins chapter 2, the White Lightning arc or whatever. And I'm like, ah shit, it's gonna go hard.
Oh
It-
shit!
She must be
Where
at
is this other
she
character
must be
too,
at
by
a
the way?
different level of competition than Ogre. Like she must be
or
like
just
the next.
or just a different region.
Yeah, one of the two. Because in my head, I'm like, surely she's gonna be in this derby, but
Yeah.
they clearly must not be competing at the same spot
This could
yet.
be like first year competitors only, maybe.
It does
like,
kind
isn't
of
it, like-
feel like that.
It's like a Kentucky Derby thing where there's like the 3 big races, right? There's like it was like the Satsuki show, this one, and then like the nines or whatever. I forget what they say it is.
Yeah.
For like the Twinkle series, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would imagine this is like the next rival, like the next March for her to push for that we've been teasing because we've seen her a couple times now,
Yes.
right?
She's
they've
been
kinda,
around
like,
since when
shown
she
her,
was
like-
in the Boonies.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
she shows up to watch the winner race.
That's right. And then doesn't he take her to go watch a race too, or am I thinking? Maybe it's just the other way around.
No,
I
she's
don't
just
know.
been on her own. No, we haven't seen. They've never interacted.
Mhm. Either way, this episode was super rad with how they did that,
No, I love this. I love this week's
and
episode.
the show's good.
Okay, and it was one of those like part of it also like as you get the reveal, I'm sitting there like, that was a boring win. We didn't see. She doesn't feel like she earned this win because we see none of her like tricked. Because we've always seen like this is what she does to win, and then it goes and from the far outside, and I was like, that feels wrong. And then when it cuts to it not being the win, I was like, oh shit, they got me. Of course it felt wrong because it didn't happen. God damn it. Like it.
You're
Yeah,
like,
is this episode?
ah.
Yes, this episode is number 1 just because of how much I love this fucking thing that they did. It was sick. I adore it. It was great.
Yeah, I don't have much additional to say besides I adored the premise of this concept. I think it's really rad. And I'm very excited to see where this takes us. Welcome to one of basically all of our remaining shows, I think, except for Vigilantes. That we have entered. Hi, your remaining 3 episodes of the remaining 3 to 4 episodes of the show are just 1 arc left. Congrats, have fun. No matter which show doesn't make top 3, like this isn't the case of like, oh, one of our shows is stuck in like a 3-episode arc. No, they're all gonna be in like a 3-episode arc. It's gonna suck. Like you are strapped in for all of these. Motto just pulled theirs early.
Yeah.
Motto was like, you get it now. We'll talk about that. Before that, though.
So Vigilantes. So this week in Vigilantes,
Mother.
I forget
This week,
the exact reason why we actually start this week. I need to.
We're just with his mom.
Yeah, he's with his mom.
Makoto just
and-
comes by.
Yeah. And he tries initially to pass it off that Makoto is his girlfriend, and she goes along with it, and his mom sniffs that shit out immediately. At which point he kind of admits, like, no, I was lying about that. Then they go,
her
like-
power being literal child abuse.
Yes. It's crazy.
Fly
Her
swatting.
power being, I can smack you from far away. So they end up going out on the town together with Koichi, his mom, and Makoto. Pop leaves after a bit because she gets nervous and frazzled. At which point Makoto tells Koichi, "Hey, she got all dressed up for you to like try and fake being your girlfriend, even though we already did this bit. She didn't know. She got dressed up. Go compliment her." So he tries to do that and fails.
Never fear, generational fumble man is here.
True. But Pop sees that he's trying at least. And then they go out on the town and they end up taking a bus, and the bus gets taken over by a cat that Hachisuka has injected with Trigger. And it turns into Totoro's cat bus. And it goes crazy. And Jenny shows up, and they start getting a lot of the passengers off. And then Cat goes crazier because Hachisuka injects more of the trigger into it. And it ends up where Makoto gets stuck on the bus while it's about to go hurtling off an overpass. And Koichi ends up helping Ingenium, who's like running out of juice, gets him his juice, helps out trying to get Makoto off. They manage to get to the bus, and Makoto sees that Koichi is the crawler. And right as they're about to get off the bus, it goes over the edge, and Koichi, being the most based individual, unlocks a new part of his power, which is he doesn't actually have to touch anything. He can just fly.
I mean,
turns out
he's touching air, to be fair.
Exactly.
He produces a repelling force.
Yeah. It allows him to get to Ingenium and save Makoto. And then he tries to do it a bit more. Right as he's about to go to save Makoto as well, his mom is like, "No, you can't do that. You can't help." And he kind of yells at her and goes, "No, Mom. I do this all the time. I can absolutely do this. Like, this is who I am." And we find out that he could fly when he was a kid, but she kept swatting him down because she was scared. It just kind of trained him to just stay on the ground, which is sad, and generational trauma is a bitch.
And also child abuse.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just smack a baby. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Kind of base, though.
I don't know. John, you can't just say that.
It's funny.
I love John being like, "You can't do it. It is child abuse. Take it from me. I work in the
But it
medical
is
field,
funny.
but it's so
But it is
fucking
funny.
funny."
It is so funny.
You're
Haven't you ever
insane.
wanted to smack a baby before?
No!
This? You haven't been around enough. That's what that tells me.
No, I have 2 nephews. I was there for both of their births, and I was there when they were literally infants. So
Those faces are so smackable, though.
that's
Oh,
insane.
thank you, Michael. You are.
Wants to work in NICU, by the way.
And don't worry, I was already on it.
Thank you, Michael.
And you can also put the second in the air. Just want to smack a babe. But yeah,
So, but hey, my personal favorite part of this episode is when Papa's come into Koichi's house, and they're just like, "Why are you here?" And then Knuckle Duster, the lad,
Knuckle
being
comes
Duster
in,
shows
goat
up.
that he is.
comes in business suit, everything, and is like, "Hey, your son helps me with community service," and that's actually why
work for a non-profit.
It's like, this man has been sitting in the back of his mind like, we need the cover story, because neither of these two have thought this through,
no,
and I'm
he's
professional.
had this cover story
yes.
forever, probably.
Yes, that's my point. He's been thinking of this since the first time
The
they made this his
ghost.
base.
Literally is Batman.
I also had this thought before watching the episode, because I was like, Pop's gonna show up, and I'm like, does Koichi know her name? I'm like, has he ever called her anything but Pop? And then
Nope.
he walks in there, he goes, Pop, and she goes, I don't do that. And I'm like, good. I'm like, that's so good, because I was
Such a good way
I
to
was-
give you their name.
like, I was like, maybe we've gotten her name from earlier when we got some of her stuff. But I'm like,
I think we
Which is
hear another
drowning.
person in her class call her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't
But-
think he's ever called her anything but Pop. And I'm like, I wonder how they're gonna handle that, and that was very fun. My biggest drama, the reason this episode isn't higher for me is I don't really like his mother. I don't really care for her. I don't think, I think for me, I don't find any of the resolution between them to be satisfying. And it doesn't have to be. You don't have to resolve this problem. But like, for how much she just hounds on him the entire episode, I really do wish we would have got more than just she settles with fine, he had to do it, and Knuckle Duster being like, you just gotta trust him. Like, I do like that we get that out of him, because I think it's appropriate that the actual adult in the situation, can't believe Koichi fucking says he goes to college with him, crazy lie he did not have to tell. Like, absolutely did not have to tell his mom that lie, could just been like, yeah, he's a guy who trains me in self-defense. Like, that's not a lie, that's true, you could have just stuck with it, but hey. But like, to have the actual adult in the room be like, no, you should trust your son, like, that part's great. I just wish that we would have followed through with anybody else sticking up for him at any point in time throughout this episode. Pop tries, runs away, she's too
Pop
embarrassed.
tries her best.
I get it.
Listen.
Yeah.
Makoto, like, kinda does at the end afterwards, but, like, she really feeds into his mom through most of the episode. And even he doesn't really do it, because, like, he doesn't necessarily, like, his mom goes, stop, you can't go. And he doesn't, and maybe this is a dub-sub difference, he doesn't go, I do this every day. He goes, this is too serious of a moment for you to stop me. Like, this matters. Like, she could die. And that's not really standing up to her as much as it is just saying, I have to go. Right? Like, I would have liked more from him and from the rest of the cast of being like, you can trust him. He is a grown adult who has shown time and time again he's reliable. I just feel like the resolution with his mom and his mom as a character whole, like, that is my own. This episode's still fucking phenomenal. I love this episode. It's great. I had a really wonderful time. There's a cat bus. But for me, like, that is the caveat there this week for me, where I'm like, you don't quite clear because of that.
So, what I'll say to that is, you, like, I think the mom is kind of forgivable just because we're just using the mom as a vehicle for the crux of the episode.
Yes.
For Makoto has never really actually been there for Koichi.
Yes.
She's just been using him this entire
No, I absolutely agree. That is true.
So, like, I get not liking
but
it,
I
but
also
it
don't
is
think
true to form.
I also don't think she's a malicious person.
No,
and like, she has shown to stand up for people, like, when it mattered. And we also don't, to be fair to her, we don't get full resolution with her by the end of this episode, because we do not get any conversation about about her knowing his identity now, which is obviously going to be a major thing for the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Very excited to see that unfold. Man, Koichi's fucking dumb sometimes.
Yeah, but he's also the GOAT.
Yeah.
He puts on fucking the jacket he literally bought today, and then shouts his hero name, and his mom goes, what the fuck are you doing? And he goes, mother! It's like, Koichi, why did you even pretend to try to be the crawler? Why didn't you just go, I have to go help? Like, I get it, he's too wrapped in the identity to not do it. But it's like,
his
dude,
power is also super fucking obvious.
yes, but
so
it's like, dude, fucking think for 5 seconds. Like, at this point, everybody in the city should know who you are and what you're
you were
doing.
in the news. Like, you've been in the news.
Like, Makoto doesn't even have to rat you at this point. You actively announced to the world who you were at like, a hero event.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot. But he's already.
Can we talk about the fact that, though, that, like,
he flies.
I still think my favorite part about this episode still is just, like, Knuckle Duster showing up, like,
So
so pristine in the door, and they both, and you have our two main cast, Pop and Koichi, going, why is he here? Oh shit! And you have the two women going, Daddy?
Literally.
And then the mom goes, no, he's much too old for you. It was just so perfect.
I also
Her
really
shelling for Koichi the entire time was great too. But you go ahead.
I also really enjoyed Knuckle Duster giving his actual name, and Pop and Koichi both going, he has a name?
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, again, this is a great way to give both of their names, 'cause these fuckers aren't gonna ask about it. They're stupid. I want to go check the manga to see what the terminology the manga uses there, because the dub and sub use very different wording for him talking to his mom there. Because the sub is, Mom, there's no time. This is no time for that.
Yeah.
The dub is, she goes, Koichi, why don't you ever know your place? And he goes, I know my place. It's right here.
Yeah, those are very different.
And I want to go check what the manga does in that scene to see how it does.
And the manga says, Mom, on the crawler, and then takes off.
Okay, I just fled. I perfect guessed the chapter.
Let's go.
Or I think I'm up by 1. Oh wait, no.
Hypothetically, what chapter is that? And for no reason in particular.
I think 16.
17.
Damn, close.
Okay.
John's gonna start reading my Vigilantes right now. Spoil himself on the remainder of the season.
Well, if I want to do that, there's like 3 more episodes out.
Yeah, but you could read it and we wouldn't know.
I could, but I don't get to see the pretty fights and pictures if I read it.
Ooh. Michael.
Says he's going to read the manga. Says he won't see pictures.
Sorry.
Yeah, but like the moving pictures are different. than the
Guys,
static.
crazy thing. Oh,
That scene doesn't even happen.
Okay, it's done in a different order in the manga. At 17,
It's actually
he
the
just
mom on
goes
the
to help, but
bus.
the start of 18 is him when they cut back to that. And it does use a thing that the sub gives, which is the mom. There's no time for that. That you don't take another step. This is no place for civilians to take action. He goes, Mom, there's no time for that.
Which, for what it's worth, I don't dislike this in the sub. Like, again, it's like to me, it's just like I would have liked more people to stand up against his random mother who's just here and just kind of spewing shit. Because what I do like about that line in the sub is that is who he is. Like, Koichi's character is that he is a civilian. And despite that, he is constantly always chosen to still try to be a hero when it matters. And so I don't dislike the subline at all from him. I think it really fits his character with how they've built him. The other moment that did make me mad, that again, no one fucking opened their mouth, was when she just openly trash-talked heroes broadly in the middle of their, like... And I was like, nobody's gonna say anything? I'm like, nobody in this room has any, like, gumption to be like, well, calm down. Like, watch it. Like, what if your family actively works in a crime unit to help heroes? Like, what if you also very much admires heroes as much as Koichi does? Knuckle Duster's credit, he's the one where I'm like, we don't know enough about him. He does seem to have some dynamic.
He's got issues.
The episode does I do kind of like the hint the episode throws out that he might have legitimately have tried to be a hero in some capacity, but we know he has no quirk. Or seemingly. So we're told. His quirk is actually making business cards.
That'd be a good ass quirk.
I will say, it is cool that like he's the first one to notice that there's an issue too, and he goes and gets Pop, and he's like, "Hey, there's a problem here, Pop."
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh,
She's
it's
like,
a
"Why
problem."
did you text me? And he goes, "It's about Koichi." She's like, "I'll be there."
She's like,
I'll be there.
motherfucker.
I do really
Motherfucker.
enjoy that's like a lot for me to deal with. I'll let the heroes deal with it. Looks in. Fuck Koichi's there. God damn it.
Fuck my dumb idiot sons on that
I
bus.
help
Oh.
my idiot adoptive son.
Okay.
I also love the fact like
My
so
beer
before we get-
supplies on that bus.
Like the lead into this is so good too with the last episode where it's just like him getting a call from his dad, and his dad's like, "Your mom's coming. I couldn't stop her," and he's just going, "Oh no, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit." Oh, it's so good.
To see how
I will
see
agree.
how this
His
is-
mom is the worst. Like,
She's not
for
supposed
no
to be.
reason.
She's not supposed to be likable. I get it. It explains a lot about his own personal issues, right?
Explains his self-confidence issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see. I'm trying to find exactly how this is done in the sub. But when Knuckles shows up, both Makoto and Koichi's mom both call him daddy in the dub.
It's similar for what it's worth. And the line is very the line between
They're like awooga.
the line between the mother and her is basically the same thing, where she's like, he's too old for you. Stick to younger guys.
Yeah.
So
She
funny.
might in the sub, Makoto might go, "Who's that hunk of man?" She might say something along those lines.
Oh, they say, "Oh, he's handsome." Again, it's significantly funnier in the dub.
Yeah,
They both go, "Hello, dad."
Daddy.
It's like, oh, that's a crazy one.
I fucking lost it.
Again, this dub is bonkers. I love this dub so much.
I will say, I thought we were going to get. I honestly thought the person who was gonna get caught for their identity first was gonna be Knuckle Duster, because of the fact that when he walks into the apartment, Makoto takes a real strong look at like his scar, and he doesn't really hide it. Like, none of them hide their identities very well. It's so fucking obvious who all of them
Yeah.
are. But
And Pop does pretty good. Pop-Tart's pretty good.
Besides
aren't
being
many
like
people
the
with pink
only
hair.
person in this in this like small area with pink
Entire
hair.
part of East Naruhodo.
The problem is she's just the most public figure of them all, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But in terms of actual thoughts, yeah, this episode's fucking great. I love the way we do the interactions are so fun between this entire cast. I love this way of introducing the evolutions to his quirk because they make sense. And I love that they go, this is a thing he had that because we've learned before, a lot of the restrictions on his quirk so far have been he subconsciously puts restrictions.
Yeah.
He only went slow because he couldn't hit the brakes.
Yeah.
So he went a little faster when he got
I
pads.
also like that as he's catching up to the bus, he kind of does the booster thing there. Like he kind of does the flying jets on the ground to gain speed because he knows he has to get to the bus. So you're also kind of seeing it building as it's going, and I do like that a lot.
Also, it's also like it's very parallel to me. I don't know why, but like whenever I see Koichi, I get reminded of Mirio from like base My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Where it feels like kind of that like learning to use a quirk that seems very like bad, it like to your advantage basically, right?
Yeah.
But without the nudity.
I do like that My Hero seems to follow the similar power scaling structure as the Zero Escape series, which is the things you need to get stronger are danger and epiphany. We have found it. It's always danger and epiphany.
In that order, usually.
Yeah. Look at Dragon Ball Z. Throw that boy in front of a beam. We'll see what happens.
Dodge.
Good episode though. I did really like it. Had a good time.
It's a good episode.
Michael.
Tamano. So first half of this episode. It's like legitimately like the first half. We are watching Kaiko, I think her name is. Something like that.
Biker.
Yeah, the biker. I tried to remember her name. I know everyone else's name. Hers is just the one I don't remember because she wasn't in the show as but anyway, we see the woes of a biker. It's summer at the time frame they're in. And it's hot. Even if you're on a bike, because you have to wear a helmet, it's a fucking oven in that helmet. And like when you're going, like the rest of your body's getting cooled down from the wind. But if you have to stop for traffic, it becomes a sauna in there. You got the heat from the ground, the heat from your own engine, the heat from all the engines around you. It's a rough time. Because we're seeing her on her way to getting to them in whatever place they're at. Because they're gonna be camping the night. She like stops at a store. She's like, what are some like fun snacks we could get? She's like, I guess I'll grab some dry cured ham. Because callbacks are funny. And she gets there, she gets to the campsite, and the other four are all practically asleep without having set up the tent. And she's also like 3 hours or 4 hours late because of traffic and shit. Like she's notably late the time she was supposed to show up. She's like, guys, I can't really say much because I'm late, but like, what's going on here? And they're like, oh, we just kind of did some other stuff. Now we don't want to do anything. So they eventually get their tent up. And they go, okay, what are we going to do for food? And they go, okay, we're going to go get some food from one of the areas. Oh, because we took too long, everything's closed. Okay, so what do we got here for food? We got some dry cured ham. Someone had like a granola bar. They pull out some nonsense. It's like, yep, this is dinner, guys. Gang lazy. Anyway, they get up and they get back on their adventure. They're going to, I should remember this place's name. They say it like 14 times. They're going to visit a dam. They visit the dam. They watch a documentary about like how the dam was built. Oh, my internet is exploding.
You got on my end.
Oh, fire. Yeah, I went up to 2K ping during that.
Nice.
Awesome.
Normal.
Yeah, it just spikes like that sometimes. Anyway, they're going and they see this, and the entirety of the group minus Sachan for the next 5 minutes will be bawling in every single scene as they think of the sacrifice the people had to make to build this dam. And also the reason they're at this dam, this one in particular, is because at one of the gift shops or whatever, one of the restaurants, they have a specific curry that is a green curry sauce.
The damn curry.
Which again, it's a callback to like last episode or 2 episodes ago when they tried to get curry. Couldn't get it. And we see Sachan eats all the curry. She's like, "Damn, that was some damn good curry." Oh no, the internet's exploding again.
You're good on my end
no.
still.
You guys start freezing on my cameras, and I get terrified. But and she looks over, she goes, "Wow, what are you guys doing? You got to eat your food." And they go, "Oh, but I can't." Because the dam is like the curry's designed to look like a dam. Like the rice in the middle looks like the dam holding back the curry sauce from reaching the chicken. And they're like, but if I break the dam, all the hard work those men put into it. It's a silly little scene. You get to see some pictures of them walking around the dam. I do like in the one big picture they get, there's 2 guys like off to the right that are probably waving as 4 guys are probably like waving back at each other. But I like to think that they saw them taking a picture and are waving at the camera being little dinguses. Because that's the kind of shit I would do if I saw someone pull out a camera like that. I'd stand there and stare at the camera from like 100 feet away.
He does do this.
It's just funny.
I lived with him for 4 years. He does do this.
Okay, it's really funny to not obviously photobomb something. And then they go and visit what is a like Olympic ski jump or a practice. It's a ski jump place where you like do the lie down and do like the jump, you do some shit in the air or whatever. You see gang walk up it, be scared of heights, and they watch some people they watch like a guy do a ski jump, and they're like, "Damn, that's crazy." I don't think anything else happens after that point. I don't know. Cute little episode. We get the whole gang back together. It's a fun little time.
Shoutouts to finding out that Shikishima sleeps with her eyes open this episode. What the fuck is wrong with her? just insane human being right there. We already knew this fact about her, but
Sakurako Shikishima is a beast.
She is La Creature.
I forgot.
fucking
They have like a bunch of like
monster.
stupid talks about this thing. They're like it's like crazy that it's like still just a ski jump right now. They don't really do anything else, and it's like, what else are you gonna fucking do with it? They're the first thought is a fucking Sukemen like ramp. It's like, no, that wouldn't work. It would fly away. They go, what if they had dogs slide down it? And they go, no, they'd also fly off. They're being fucking idiot.
I thought this week's comedy didn't really hit as well as the past couple. I'll be upfront about it. This was not my favorite comedy set for Mono. I thought it's had much stronger weeks comedy wise. But it's also just it's a fine episode. Everything else this week was killer. Everything else this week was stellar. Compared to Mono. Like, sorry, you're the slice of life show. You're not even the slice of life show. You're the cute girls do cute things show in the midst of stuff that's really good right now. If I had any hesitations about any of our shows, maybe, because I do think Mono, I do like what Mono does, and I think it's been enjoyable. And I was legitimately for a while thinking like Mono probably gets top 4 if nothing pulls its weight, and then stuff started pulling its weight. And that's the problem. Still a good week.
Yeah.
Still liked it. It's fine.
Yeah. Show's good. It does exactly what it does, and that's it. And it doesn't deviate, and that's fine.
It only does a little bit of recycling, but it's good for the environment, so we take it.
Yeah.
Did you guys know
call
some are
back.
hot for motorcycle? No way.
Did you guys know that you should not eat all ham raw? Only some of it.
Only some
Only
of it.
some of it.
You can eat all ham raw if you're not a bitch.
True.
You
Because your
can,
stomach ain't a
correct.
bitch.
You can eat all ham raw. That there is nothing stopping you,
You-
from
you just may
eating
not-
all ham raw.
Survive.
Should you eat all ham raw? Is a different question. Entirely
You can
different.
eat a brick. Will you be alive after? That's another question.
Will you
After said
have?
brick.
Will you have
That
teeth?
wasn't the question.
Okay, but once upon a witch's death, Faust is away, and since Faust is away, someone else has to show up, and it's Inori. Meg has been requested by the mayor of the town. There's a mayor of this town, to come take a look at the tree because there might be something wrong with it. Guys, I think there's something wrong with the tree.
That's a pretty average tree behavior.
It's gotten really purple, a great color in this show. And
Yeah,
it's growing.
really good stuff.
It's growing a lot. It's kind of all over the place. And things around it are dying. Surely everything is fine.
Probably fine.
But to make sure, Honori's checking it out. She was here because she needed a place to crash, and thus Faust's house was the only option. I do enjoy that. I do think that's good. But Honori's like, yeah, this tree's dying. It has so much magic in it. By the way, we touched on this last week. Yeah, this show, absolutely the world's lightest magic system, fucking loosest light magic system I've ever seen in the world, because Honori goes, yeah, the tree's problem, it's taking in too much magic. The solution? We blast it with more magic to purify the magic in it.
We burn it to the fucking ground.
Yeah, we burn the tree entirely by sending more magical fire into it, which, I think that's the silliest fucking concept, but you know what? Burning the tree does make sense. The idea is you can't dig the tree up because you would have to, literally dig everything up, and that's just not feasible. It's just, with how much it's grown, it's not possible. And they really do need to stop this because, as Honori lets us know, the Sahara Desert was created by one of these trees, apparently, in this world.
Crazy lore drop.
She goes, yeah, a desert in the Middle East. Yeah, all of the Middle East, because of a tree. Just, all that desert didn't happen
Reason it's a
naturally.
desert? Tree.
So that tree literally ate everything, turned into a desert. You're like, well, fuck, I guess we... And the mayor literally goes, well, shit, we can't have that happen.
I don't want to...
But the whole time, Meg is thinking about this tree, and she's thinking about how the old woman who died in episode 4, really loved this tree. And you know what? Yeah, show, I didn't forget about that. You don't have to keep reminding me it was painful the first time. Thanks. But Meg's like, don't you think there's another way for us to handle this tree? And Honori goes, your master's out there, stopping climate change. Trying to stop climate change by making an entirely new core for the planet. And you don't think you could sacrifice one tree? And Meg goes, well, shit, I mean, that is a fair argument, I guess. We can start making the circles to blow the tree up in flame. And they do. And at this point, Meg is hearing voices. Typical Meg things, apparently, now. This is just where we're at in her life. And Meg's like, that was a noise. And Nora goes, I didn't hear that. And Meg goes, okay. And so they keep going. And then Meg hears another laugh, and she goes, you! And she causes a small child to fall out of a tree. She causes a girl to fall straight out of a tree, and she goes, what are you doing up there, silly girl? And Honori goes, who the fuck are you talking to? And once again, Meg goes, the child in front of me. And Honori goes, you are dying in fucking... You are gonna die in 7 months, aren't you? Because we have found out this is 5 months since Meg has learned she's dying.
I thought it was 5 months
A little
left.
bit low.
No, I'm pretty sure it says 5 months since.
In the dub, we just get... I believe we get, it has been 5 months. Is the exact word
I
we
misread
get.
that.
Yeah, hold on. Unless Michael's...
That's how I interpreted it.
The sub is very clear about this. So let me real quick.
The dub, I think,
I was
is
on the
also
side.
very clear. I also just don't remember 100% word.
Because it's the first line of the episode.
As I know that they specifically The number
I
they say is 5 months.
I received a request from the mayor of Lapis 5 months after I was told I had a year to live.
Okay.
So it's been 5 months. But yeah, so
I do believe the dub is essentially that. I just
Yeah.
remembered the number 5 months.
so there's a girl, who tells Meg that she is the spirit of the tree. And Meg releases to Honori, and Honori goes, "That's not good. Spirits aren't supposed to be human. Like, they aren't supposed to look like a human. I need to call somebody." And Meg goes, "Who the fuck could you be calling?" She's calling Chloe. And I don't know why Meg didn't piece that together. It's the only person she could be calling. She doesn't know this until we hear Honori go, "Why do I need to put Meg on speaker?" Fine, I'll put Meg on speaker. And Chloe goes, "Hi, bestie, how you doing?" And Meg goes, "Oh, Chloe, cool." And she goes, "Yeah, spirits aren't human." And Meg goes, "Why do you know what's going on in my town?" She goes, "Yeah, the spirits talk. They talk a lot, actually. And that's not normal. Something abnormal's going on with your giant fucking tree that's
And they're
trying to kill you."
talking a lot of shit
Yeah,
about that
that-
thing.
Yeah.
Look, gossip travels quick amongst the spirits. They're chatty bitches.
To which Chloe goes to Meg, "Hey, Meg, you're sure that's a spirit?" And Meg goes, Meg's word for her response is, "Probably." I love her so much.
It's so good.
It's so obvious that something is drastically wrong if it already at this point. But we're strapping in. Yeah, Meg goes probably as she watches the small girl frolic and chase her carbuncle around, because of course it does. And so Meg talks with the girl for a while, and they decide that Meg's gonna give her a tour of the town before Honori and her try to send her off on her way to the cycle of spirit reincarnation. Send the spirit back into the cosmos, is how they refer to this. So Meg's taking a walk with the girl the next morning, and she goes, "What's your name, tree spirit?" And she goes, I don't got one." And Meg goes, "Perfect, I will think of the best name, the greatest name, the most beautiful, cute name. Color white, stone, white Selena." Meg goes, "Shit, I blew it, didn't I? It's such a bad fucking name." And Selena goes, "No, I like it. It's cool. It's dope. We'll run with
That name
it."
sucks. That girl sucked. Her name fucking sucked. No, it's
And
alright,
then
Meg.
we get a little montage of them going around town. We see Meg chasing down Fine at one point in time as Selena just kind of watches nonsense happen. And they talk about the town and how the town's important to Meg. And Selena's like, and Meg goes, "Why did you want me to go to town with you?" And Selena's like, "Well, we feel the same way about the town, and also if anything bad happens, you can handle it. You will handle it, right?" And Meg goes, "Yeah. Okay." And then the next day comes around, and they talk a little bit about how they visit the graveyard where the old woman is buried. Thanks, show. Which is also the graveyard from episode 1 where she went and made the cherry blossoms fall for the family who lost their mother. Thanks, show. Just put all the trauma in one graveyard. Fucking Faust
that is the place to put drama.
True. Faust's thumb is buried here. Meg, but they talk, and Meg's like, "Yeah, I made cherry blossoms fall here." And Selena goes, "That's a really pretty thing. I wish I wasn't a giant fucking oak tree and anything else, and literally anything else." And so they get back the next day, and Megan and Ori are ready to start burning this tree down. But things aren't right. Meg can't find Selena, so she quick goes to look for her before they detonate the tree. And Selena has become a horrible, grotesque monster from Made in Abyss. Kind of. Not quite there. We held back a little. Not a lot, but a little. And is actively begging her to kill her. Meg, rightfully so, is panicked and tries to run away after almost getting her face eaten by a tree monster. To which she once again remembers Chloe's question of, "Are you sure this is a spirit?" Honori and Meg then realize that the tree is mad and breaking all of their barrier runes that were supposed to protect people, and they have to go get more help. They can't handle this alone. And then Meg thinks about Faust telling her that she has to stick to her guns and goes, "Fuck it. I'm gonna go kill that spirit." And runs literally into a death trap and gets fucking tossed around like a wet towel. Her legs are bleeding badly.
And very broken.
very broken, bleeding very badly, and she goes, I just have to keep going, and crawls her way to the center of the tree where the detonation rune is, and gets ready to blow the tree up. Before she does, though, she thinks about how Selena wanted to be a different tree, maybe, in the next life, and we cut to Meg, waking up in bed with Faust and Inori near her, and they're like, Meg, we have things to talk about. You've, done stuff. And Meg goes, what? And after she has a cast on her leg and his broom flying around, they take her back to where the tree was, and it is now a cherry blossom tree. Except not exactly. It's a little different. It's a new species of tree. To which Inori goes, yeah, I didn't really think about the whole just using magic to reincarnate it into an entirely new tree. In fact, no mage has ever thought of that concept for anything. That's important now. And the fact that you did that's really important. People are gonna really care about you, and things are gonna get really busy, Meg. And that's where we end the episode.
Meg, you accidentally created a miracle of magic by
Yeah.
using a huge mass of magic to reincarnate something.
She
Meg
also,
might be a
Created an
problem for you.
entire new
Good luck.
school of magic.
she also names the species of the new tree species as Lapis Selena, which is a really nice sounding like actual like kind of Latinesque like scientific name for a tree.
Yeah.
Worked
Does it
out.
make any sense that this
Lapis
tree should be called
lazuli.
that? No, because it's an oak tree with pink leaves. But don't worry about it, it's awesome.
It's in the city of Lapis, and there was a girl, and I promise you, there was a girl here, and her name was Selena, and she was the tree. Trust me, Meg
She
says.
is the tree.
Meg says as she loses her goddamn mind.
If I had a nickel for every time a show on this podcast made me emotional about a tree, I'd have 2 nickels.
And they would both be cherry blossoms by the end of it.
True.
I adore this episode.
This episode's so fucking good.
I really
Yes.
appreciate that Meg just kind of handles this whole episode. There isn't really like Inori is here. She's like defending against the tree attack, but she doesn't help Meg. She can't really help Meg.
That was the thing that I was like, when we got to the bit of her like bleeding out in the tree, I was like, okay, so Faust is gonna come, right? Is that what we're gonna do? Faust is gonna save her again? And I was pleasantly surprised that it was like Meg committed to, yeah, I'm gonna fucking die, I guess.
Again,
Good
dude,
terms.
this girl is, to be fair, if there's anyone in this world who should be so committed to just go, yeah, man, I'm gonna die, whatever, it is her. She is constantly in that state. She just goes, I'll trade a long-term curse death for fiery explosion, demon pulling me to hell.
Meg is the most fuck it we ball character I've ever seen.
I'm starting to really enjoy this. I'm starting to really enjoy the concept of you live in a magical world, but only one of you can see all the fucked up things no one else can see. That is kind of rad.
Yeah.
This show, I also adore every moment in the show. I lose it. As I'm sitting there, we're just sitting there. And then Inori pulls out her fucking Google
Her
Pixel
cell
4,
phone.
and I'm like, bro, what the? I'm like, oh yeah.
Right,
I always forget.
To be fair,
Like,
this is much better than the bit that Brennan Lee Mulligan brings up about Harry Potter, where he's like, "Oh, you chose an owl to deliver your mail, the slowest fucking bird,
alien animal.
a bird that actively locks itself when it flies, so that this is literally like the most painful thing for it to fucking do." Much better just to fucking say, "Yeah, we have cell phones."
Again, it's just so funny. Yep. Okay, I gotta make a call. They look at it's like right before they do. It's like similar thing where like some piece of technology appears, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Always gonna forget.
John, you are muted.
So fucking silly.
What was that?
I said you are muted, just to make sure
I
you
know.
knew. I
was talking to
figured.
people in the background.
I thought so, but I wasn't sure. You never know with you.
But you know, this episode's fucking
Is that
phenomenal.
Keegan?
But yeah, I loved Megan this episode. Love everything she does. Her stuff with Selena is great. Yeah.
We don't really get an answer to what Selena was,
Yeah.
which I'm not inherently against not knowing
A
what
tree,
the fuck. Well,
obviously.
yes. Like I'm not inherently against
Clearly was a tree.
not knowing what the fucked up dark thing is that is corrupting. That is a corrupting presence. Like,
Yeah, like it's probably supposed to be interpreted as like the spirit of the tree, but like corrupted by the immense amount of magic that it's pulled in, which is why it's able to be given a form that's like not just a little wispy guy.
Mhm.
But who knows? Why did its mouth open sideways and try to eat Meg?
with 7 eyes.
Yeah, at least.
Some of our shows this week started getting really Lovecraft. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the darker tone we're going into. If you didn't see by episode titles, this show is going into a multi-episode arc.
Mhm.
I presume it will probably be either that for the rest of the show, or it'll be 2-3 episodes. It'll be two
It's a
episodes
2 in
of
1.
it, and
It's a
then
2 in 1.
and then
like
and
one episode
then a send
resolve.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like the bells ring with the sound of waves part 1 and part 2, and then other title.
Dude, this show's fucking fired exactly the way I've wanted to fire for the past 3 episodes. That's tremendous praise for what a show can do.
It's giving the good juices. You'll love to see it. Yeah, it's good. I thought the tree stuff was a little weird, but I've seen weirder.
I like that we worked our way around to a plot point that like was like set up structurally from the beginning. Like the tree's been a central point for like a couple of times now throughout the past couple of episodes since the old woman. Like it's Make has seen the tree a couple of times and stared at it and been like, oh, the tree, that one. Like
It's plot relevant tree.
yeah. Like, it really is, like, this thing's been standing in the middle of town the entire time you've been running around your D&D session. Something bad's been happening to it. Pay fucking attention to it, please. I beg you. I am really interested by the overall concept of this show, which, outside of her, dying and eating tears, because that seems to have taken a secondary point to the world is dying due to climate change and overuse of magic. Perhaps the solution is more magic. Which I think is funny. That is kind of on brand with how we like to think about approaching climate change. With this, climate change is bad. Look at all the things we do to it. You know what we should do? More of those things. Perhaps not. Perhaps anything else. Mason.
So, To Be Hero X. So we get a little bit about right before they do this, like the night before they do this song and escape routine, where the Calamity, I don't remember his
Luo.
actual name. What was that?
Luo. It's a lot. It's easier to remember if you watch the show subbed like I watched with Sean at the end.
Fair.
Seeing it written out, you can actually understand what they're saying, and not the nonsense. His name's really short, really hard to understand what they're saying.
So Luo gets a guitar and it creates sparkles.
Yeah.
It just do that. Like they don't know why. It just do that.
It's just
Did they say it was a gift from the director?
I
They
don't.
said, didn't they say
think
it's
so.
a gift from the director because he's been so well behaved? That's
That is what it is.
That is suspicious.
because it was a month of him not
Causing
I thought it
problems.
not
was a
causing a
year of him
problem.
Not causing
for
problems.
the year, something like that.
Might be a year.
Yeah. And he sings a little song, and then Cyan sings a little song, and they sneak out to get her back to her room, and hear a truck driver talking about how, like, yeah, she's just a figurehead, and she's actually useless. The director is just doing this for all the money, and that makes her feel bad. And then we cut to as they're leaving. They fight with the director a little bit. Luo gets grabbed. She gets grabbed by fake, like illusory tentacles, and her luck run shows up by a truck careening through the wall. And then she takes that chance to escape right as the truck runs into the director of Luo. So she doesn't know that if they're alive or dead. They're alive somehow. The director somehow keeps Luo alive as well. But she gets out and she runs to a nearby town where she cries a little bit, and then she starts playing some music, and a guy throws her some change. So she starts doing this day in and day out. And that makes her quite a bit of money. It allows her to kind of like replace her clothes and like start like taking care of herself a little bit. And then people see her, and it starts getting spread around online. And then people go, "Wait a second, I know that girl. That's the shrine maiden. That's the maiden. Let's go pray to her." So more and more people start showing up to pray to her, and she runs away. And she ends up getting cornered in a back alley where this hero agent goes, "Hey kid, you want to be a superhero? I can give you superpowers. It's going to be great. No strings. Promise, nothing bad will happen." So she agrees to be a superhero. And that allows her to become a big shot idol. And she puts on a concert, which is the concert that I believe we saw like everybody, we saw them talking about in the previous arc, but I could be wrong. Where she does a little song, a couple songs, and she does a quick like speech in the middle where she goes, "Hey, the last time I did a concert was not a great experience, but I had a friend there, and he wrote this song. I don't think he's alive anymore, but I love him. He's great. Here's this song." And she plays the song that he sang at the beginning of the episode.
You're my wonder woman.
Meanwhile, Luo is listening to this concert, and he's like super excited at first because Cyan made it. And the director walks in and goes, "Hey, I meant to tell you something about her." And we don't hear exactly what it is, but he freaks out. And then at the end of the episode, we cut back to the church, and everybody's zombies except for the director. And we don't see Luo, but the director just has really black and red eyes. This episode was solid. Like, it's still good. Just, in my opinion, it didn't do a whole lot. Well, other episodes did. I think this was more of like we're setting up for the big push at the end of this arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we kind of settled into the groove of this show where it's like first episode is to set it all up, middle episode is to kind of push along, third episode is the climax, generally. So
There's some interesting things going on to talk about to try to piece together. The truck driver and the dude they talk about mention that the director used to be a hero, and the shot they show makes it look like his power was fire, which implies whatever he's doing now is not his hero power. Given the fact he looks like he's possessed by some outer entity, I believe that is probably accurate.
The way my brain interprets that, so this is the thing I mentioned, like my theory on it is, so we know the difference between a hero and a villain is that heroes are powered by trust, villains are powered by fear. And so if the entire group of people within the compound fear him, they fear his control over them, which would be why he has stuff like tentacles to hold them.
Yeah, so it just
like that in my brain makes sense. This is a villain power he'd get here.
Yeah,
because that's what people fear he can do.
And it kind of evolves the power we've seen before too, because we saw that like it happened with God Eye too, right? Where it like, I mean, we didn't really see God Eye's like original power too much, but we saw like it was just like an enhanced version almost based off of like playing off that fear. And so yeah, like I said, it's like a setup episode. It sets like at the back, it finishes the backstory of Lucky Cyan and how we get like out of this like cult basically, right? But I like how they show foreshadow stuff because it's like, hey, they're sneaking back to the room and they see the truck driver talking to someone like, man, running all these late shifts is really wearing on me. You know?
Fucking tired.
Yeah.
And then like, of course, he's running a late shipment early in the morning, basically, and crashes through the wall because he's like half asleep, which is lucky, I guess, that no one died, except for maybe her friend, but didn't actually die. But like,
No.
did get hit by a truck.
Yeah, he's
You
roughed
combine
up.
luck and calamity, you get car crashes.
I will say, like, I think the animation's been fine too. I know that was like a point we talked about like a couple weeks ago.
I
The
think
shows looks fine.
I think it's a little worse this episode.
Yeah.
I think they.
It has moments for sure.
Yeah, it's totally. It's not a big deal. It looks better than most shit we watch on this podcast.
Yeah.
Like it's still
It just
really
looks like
good.
general anime stuff, and then like
Yeah.
when her performance comes online, it's
They-
like very like.
They do reuse
Sounds
the,
a bit.
the time lapse a couple of times in the
It's
episode,
really funny.
which
that
is
it's
funny.
A flat reuse.
It is,
of it.
yeah. And I don't really care. I don't really care about that kind of shit. Some people really do. It's not a big deal. I would have liked a little more time with her in the hero org. I get that we need to get through this though, but I would have liked to have seen it. I also really would have liked. Why didn't you just tell me how many years passed? Why did you have to give me the hero commission date? You didn't give me the hero commission date for the rest of this arc, so I don't know what the fuck that means in the context of this arc.
Yeah, it did.
No, because they did it at the very start. Did they give us it?
Yes.
Okay, what is at the very start of the arc?
At the very start, it's 7 years after the Hero Commission.
Okay. God, so you would have to. I hate this.
She is like 16, 17 at this point. Because I believe it's 23 years after the Hero Commission at this point.
No, it's like 38. I thought.
Oh,
Hold on.
so she might be 21 then.
Let me see if I can. Wait, do you remember when it gives us the original Hero Commission date? Is it at the very start of the first episode of the arc?
So the very start of the arc, it gives us the Hero Commission date when they go to the plane crash.
23 years after commission.
Oh, it's 23 at that point? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
But I thought... My brain almost doesn't feel like that lines up with the time jumps we've gotten. That means this is a very short time jump. Because if it's 23...
I mean, they did have to set up her being like an evangelical like god, basically, which probably took some time too.
Well, my point is like that this is not a very long time jump from when she's performing to when she's a hero, which makes sense, but like...
No, because like it's like what she has like she's performing on the street for about like half a year to a year, basically.
I don't even think it's
and
that
then-
long. I think
And then
she's
she
literally
starts
out
getting
there
figured
days.
out for. I think it's really interesting how it's like how
36.
fast it becomes like, hey, she's this cool street performer who's really talented. This is awesome. To oh, I recognize this voice and this like style from this one video we saw of the church.
Yeah,
Oh
so
wait,
it's-
it's the god.
So it's been 13 years since the start of the arc, is what that
Which
puts
is
us
what,
on.
5?
We don't know,
plane
but
crash.
that's a
Five-ish.
guess. Yeah. Now I'm just curious because we get a couple. No here. We can keep talking about the show while I look this up. I've said most of.
I mean, I would say
It's really good.
It's a good episode. You get.
It's a good
This
episode
is
for-
a really good episode.
Yeah.
Like we get the continuation. We get more of just seeing her and Luo together. Those two are fucking dinguses together. I love them.
Mhm.
It does push us for. I do enjoy how we do get a confirmation that she wasn't like inherently lucky. It is connected to her trust.
Yeah.
Because she goes to, or it's like a thing of she's either so lucky or can only be so lucky, or it's a do her trust value because she goes to do a lottery ticket and loses. She's like, yeah, I'm lucky. I can go win a lottery ticket. And she's
Which
like,
honestly, great application. Good theory crafting.
Yeah.
You know? I like when characters are like, hey, I have this thing that I could abuse. Let's try to abuse it. And like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it
Mhm.
doesn't.
You sent last week's.
No, you know what? I just didn't delete.
Yeah.
Hey, give me a second.
play it
No,
again.
I'll just send it again. I'll
Too,
vote that show off twice.
too late.
Oh man.
I'll vote that show off twice, he says.
There you go. That
Sean,
one.
now there's only Sean, there's only 4 things on it. Sean, there's only 4 things on it.
Sean. Sean, are we skipping a week?
He already deleted it again.
Give me a second.
Guys, first week where we're voting off no shows. All saves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sean's like, we can't vote off Mono if it's not on the list of voting.
True.
No, that's why would I want to do that? That wouldn't make any sense.
Sean, why does Mono only say option 1 under it?
Give me a second. I'm literally
Sean,
adjusting
what
it
the
as
fuck?
we go. Refresh your page.
Okay.
It should be right now. I can't believe it lets
There
you
it is.
see. I can't believe it lets you see it as I'm working on it. That's crazy.
That's funny.
I was like, oh, it sounds like I was just gonna keep clicking it, see what changes that. It's just Mono option 1.
Option save. You may not slay.
No, it didn't say save. It just said option 1.
Oh, mine said save. It was
Yeah,
not-
because you were
See,
looking
I
at
did
it
it
at
before
different
that.
parts in the editing.
That's so funny, Michael. Option 1, save.
Why am I allowed to clear selection on Mono? Oh, Mono isn't a required vote. I'm just not gonna.
I did
Who
not.
the fuck is? Who is
I don't
that
know.
name? Like, Mason.
What?
Did you submit under the towers?
Yeah. You didn't see my name last week. Oh,
I don't look at the name.
that was supposed to be 2, not twin.
Not Mason. You Freudian slipped.
Yeah. That's my bad.
Oh, it's kind of funny though.
The second Lego Tower has hit the stream.
So we have a 2-year. So it's a 2-year time skip. At the end of the episode, presuming no additional time passed between the plane crash and her at the orphanage, because they don't give us a time jump there. Presuming that is all straight through, because it's a 5-year and a 6-year, which puts us to 11, and then it'd be 2 more years that she's been doing hero stuff.
Only one more vote off left, and then we get to decide how many episodes we're watching.
God, if To Be Hero gets her, I sure hope the next arc is only a 3-episode one, so we don't have to watch episode 14 or something to finish it.
Right.
I mean, the good thing is
Okay.
it'll be out either way.
Yeah. I love going on Crunchyroll and seeing. Oh look, most recently watched episode 9, Mom Descends. I'm going to be watching episode 10, The Truth Behind Luck. I'm gonna be maybe watching episode 10 now. Now I'm gonna then go over. Zatsutabi episode 4, Smile by the Sea. Because it's rolled over to it, and I have not watched any more of it.
Hey, you want to go
'Cause
back?
why would I?
No.
So, votes are in. Everything is safe except for Mono is the only show with a sleigh that has full sleighs.
Crazy.
Who could have seen this coming? How unfortunate.
Me, when I pulled it up, looking at Cody going, I don't actually have to watch this because I'm 99% sure this is going to go, but I should watch it anyway.
It would be really bad if it didn't somehow, and
Me just floundering to try and put any sort of commentary in on it.
they'd be like, yeah, what you guys said. And I'd be like, oh, really, Mason? Give me more specific details. I'd be like, please, no.
If you could you don't?
I'd be like, oh, since you asked so nicely. But yeah, that'll be it for this week. We will come back to decide top 3 next week. And then, yeah. It'll really depend on how stuff goes this next week for me. I'm not gonna feel good about anything. We should do a top 4. Just cause.
Nope.
You never know.
Just watch the rest.
We should just slay everything entirely and just wheel at all 4 shows.
True. That would be really funny.
Never been done before.
Great list.
First time in history of the podcast.
So I move that we vote Umamusume just so that we can have all Crunchyroll shows on top of it.
But
Nope.
its anime is
That's too bad.
based, and you should be watching it there.
No, that's Funimation. You should be watching.
Fun.
Oh,
It'll be fun.
could be fun.